I think I'm live. Let's see if this works. Okay. This is my very first live stream. Just testing out the equipment, testing out the infrastructure. And I think for the first stream, I'm going to react to people's political hot takes. Now, I may come to regret this, and I probably will. But in the meantime, while people are, well, I have no one viewing now, but eventually one or two people will hop on. In the meantime, before people comment their political hot takes, I'm going to put myself through hell and live react to my Twitter feed. I'm going to live react to my X feed, and we'll just go from there. I don't have any structure to this. I'm just going to test the waters, so to speak. And yeah, let's live react to my Twitter feed. Let's do it. Okay, the first thing that pops up is JD Vance just posted this video on Blue Sky. Let's check it out. No. Nancy Pelosi. This cannot be real. I think he's just rage baiting. If you ask JD Vance if he wanted a king, I think he would say no and we don't have one. But him just posting this is he's just trying to trigger the libs. That's his whole thing, is triggering the libs. What else do we got? Yeah, I don't want to see that. Breaking: Israel strikes southern Gaza in test of ceasefire. There was no ceasefire. This was like the fourth or fifth time this year that Trump announced there was a ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel. And you know what happened? Each time, Israel broke the ceasefire and then blamed Hamas. It wasn't real. And if you notice, the timing of this alleged ceasefire deal was very curious, very peculiar, because Trump and Israel, specifically Netanyahu, they were losing ground on maintaining the evangelical base in America. There was no way that they were going to survive the next 3 months if something drastic didn't happen. The October surprise, so to speak. They were losing conservatives in America. They were losing much of the evangelical base. Everyone was turning against Israel. They needed something. And this fake ceasefire deal turned the attention away from all of that, from all of the support that they were losing. It's no surprise that the timing of that was what it was. Also, if you're watching this over again, just don't judge the people who I follow on Twitter. It's a mix of sports and political figures, random streamers, comedians. So, yeah.
I also just saw today fucking Benjamin Netanyahu just openly stating in front of the whole world his plans on brainwashing because so many people are turning on Israel. Israel literally pays influencers to suck their wiener and just be like these loyal little lapdogs to always just lap up whatever Netanyahu's gooch is sweating out. He
Oh my
recognizes how everyone sharing videos and information about the atrocities and all the slaughter of the Palestinians at the hands of the IDF is making people turn on Israel. So now genocidal freak is going up to Elon Musk. Oh, Mr. Musk, can we do something about like all these pesky voices sharing all of this? It's censorship. Super weird, by the way, how a foreign nation seems to have so much pull over things happening in our homeland. Why can Netanyahu come out with his full ass on display talking about like how algorithms on the platforms here need to cater to him?
Yeah.
And also he should be talking to Elon about Twitter so they can do something together in regards to like the people not liking Israel anymore and what they're having access to. This guy gets to come in and like completely wash our fucking freedom of speech in order to fit.
Yeah, I mean, I just said a minute ago that the timing of this alleged ceasefire was very curious because Israel was losing support from the evangelical base, losing support from conservatives in America broadly. So this timing was very, very intentional. Because they needed to divert attention away from all the negative attention Israel's getting. So this ceasefire did exactly that. And Charlie here from the Moist Critical or Penguin Zero or whatever you want to call it, this is a perfect example of how Israel's losing even the normies. Like Charlie here doesn't talk about politics. He talks about gaming and pop culture. Like he rarely, until recently, started talking about politics. And that's how you know that even regular normies are turning against Israel. And of course, he's got a large following. He's got like 17 million subscribers. It was just a handful of weeks ago that he started to really talk about politics on his channel. So yeah, pretty interesting. But I want to watch that part again where he's just, yeah, this part right here.
Influencers to suck their wiener and just be like brainwashing because so many people are turning on Israel. Israel literally pays influencers to suck their wiener.
So stupid. All right, if
Parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Oh.
I have nothing to say about that. That's classic Kyle posting something like that. Oh my God, Cory Booker. Oh man, am I gonna do? Yeah, let's do it.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Let's restart that.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. This is what.
Awesome. My favorite response when conservatives post this meme. The blue is, I'm guessing, counties that voted Democrat, and the red is counties that voted Republican. And of course, if you look at the blue, those are where all the major cities are. And that's also, it happens to be where all the people live. So, land doesn't vote. This is all the red are rural communities where less people live. Land doesn't vote. I don't know. There's no other way to rebut that. And then someone says, this is what democracy looks like. Of course, Cory Booker has taken $900,000 from the pro-Israel lobby. Disgusting. Should be illegal to do that, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't have any format to this video. I'm just testing the waters. I guess I'll just keep on reacting until someone comments. Not saying anything interesting. I don't know what I think about this guy, Hutch. I don't know. To me, I've seen some of, I don't know. I've seen some of his clips, but he's kind of an asshole. I don't know. Anyone who disagrees with him, from what I've seen, especially if they're left of him, he just puts down. You know, I don't see him trying to find common ground with anyone left of him. But again, I've only seen some of his stuff, and I've, just speaking anecdotally from what I've seen, but
over the weekend, the No Kings protests.
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other.
I went to the big protest yesterday in my home city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've never seen so many people in the downtown streets. And we have very large festivals. We have Art Prize, which is like the country's largest art festival. We have large concerts like Justin Bieber, Kevin Hart, like major celebrities come to the city to perform at the arena downtown. And even then, I don't see that many people as I saw yesterday. The entire downtown, like center city, was just flooded with people. And I can say I was not paid. I was not paid by George Soros. This is just projecting his insecurities. He feels very insecure that so many millions of Americans took to the streets to call him a clown, to call him a wannabe king. It's actually funny. Like when I see a conservative comment that, these protesters are being paid. They projected about 9 million protesters yesterday. How much would it take to pay every single one of them? You pay them $10 each. That's $90 million. Who's paying $90 million for people to protest? That's crazy to me. But he's just speaking from his insecurities. Like, I don't know, saying that people are being paid to protest when I can attest that I was not paid to protest yesterday. It's just kind of embarrassing.
Of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out.
I didn't get paid. Will I be expecting that check in the mail, or?
Demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
They're whacked out.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Right. No, you're a dictator. That's a little different. Oh, you can't. Oh man, can't forget this classic.
Clayton.
Sometimes I wish the internet didn't exist, because this is something that I wish I didn't know. Like Pete Hegseth throwing an axe and hitting someone in a marching band. It's just like that's the kind of knowledge that like the news stories that are just they go in one ear and they go out one ear and like you become dumber. You know what I mean? Like it's not one of those. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. We'll move on. Interesting. If you're watching the live stream, I am just putting myself through hell right now, going down my Twitter feed. You can comment your political hot take and I'll react to it. That's the purpose of this live stream. This is my very first live stream, so I'm just testing the waters, so to speak. So until someone comments, I'm just going to live react to my Twitter feed. Yeah. What do we got here? Okay.
Ride your bike, you fucking fag! Go get a job! Yeah! Go get a job! Loser! Fucking loser!
Oh my God.
You fucked around and you found out! Oh, loser!
You guys are gonna get your ass beat if you don't quit. I'm serious.
Hey, get your buddy. Get your buddy.
Back up, man! You ran into me! What the fuck?
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I've only seen 90 seconds of this video, and I can just tell that both of these actors, both of these people in this interaction are agitators. Like the younger dude yelling slurs at this older guy, this MAGA guy, Republican, I'm assuming, yelling slurs at it's just, this is the worst of America. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about both of these people. Again, this is just me reacting to a 30 or 60 second portion of this whole interaction that I'm sure there's more context to. But this is what's wrong with these big protests is when there is a counter protest, like when people, like at the No Kings rallies yesterday, most of them had, MAGA, Republican counter protesters agitating the peaceful protesters at the No Kings rallies. And it's just nothing fruitful can come out of it. There's never a moment when they're actually engaging in, thoughtful discourse. Like these people, I don't know, let's watch this again because I may have missed something.
Let's go! Let's go! ICE! God bless!
Let's go ICE. God bless Trump. these guys don't even, I mean, look, he's wearing a New York Giants shirt. I don't even think these guys like meant to go to this protest. It looks like these people are just out about on the town, and they encountered this protest, and now they're just yelling at these protesters. Again, like I said a minute ago, I'm only viewing this video in this minute and a half context. I'm sure there's more to it, but from what I'm seeing is this guy is agitating the protesters. He's looking out in the crowd, yelling, "Let's go, ICE." I mean, not saying he got what he deserved, but expect people to match your energy. Yeah, clearly he's not like targeting anyone. He's just yelling into the abyss of the protest.
Ride your bike, you fucking fag!
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's marching down the street, flipping people off. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. That's just him probably being him. But then when he says, ride your bike, you fag, you should expect people to match that energy. Like if someone calls me a name, I'll probably just shrug it off. But if someone like gets in my face, I'm going to match that energy. But clearly these people cannot handle the moment. So let's just watch this again.
Go get a job! Yeah. Go get a loser! Fucking
All right, I think I'm going to move on from this. I'm getting dumber. I'm losing brain cells, if I have any left, from the past 9 months. Oh, this could be interesting. First commenter, let's go. Okay. Let's see. Who do you think should run in the next presidential election? Good question. Anyone who supports Medicare for all. Literally, that's it. And unfortunately, none of the major Democrats or any of the Republicans support that policy. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Jon Stewart. That's it. That's literally it right now. Why did you ask a question, though? The video is tell me your political hot take. But all right, go off.
You know, one of the things that you write so beautifully, and your stuff is so fun to read, but you write about Trump. Quote, the way that you build a truly vicious nationalist movement is to wed a relatively small core of belligerent idiots to a much larger group of opportunists and spineless fellow travelers whose primary function is to turn a blind eye to things. We may not have that many outright Nazis in America, but we have plenty of cowards and bootlickers, and once those fleshy dominoes start tumbling into the Trump camp, the game is up. When you talk about fleshy...
All right, this sounds like AI. I don't think this is legit. Israel breaks ceasefire. Gaza is under attack again. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, this ceasefire was a fake deal. Like I said a few minutes ago, this ceasefire came at a very peculiar time, a very curious time, when Israel was losing support from the evangelical base nationwide, from conservatives broadly nationwide. This ceasefire deal was just a ploy to divert attention away from the negative attention that Israel has been getting and from the lost support from the Republican base. So they needed something big, something to divert the attention away from that. And that is a fake ceasefire deal. My favorite thing about the past 2 months has been conservative creators like the Hodge twins. Just one example. Conservative content creators turning on Trump. That's my new favorite pastime. And it's just going to get worse. It's going to get even more prevalent over the next 3 years of this hellscape. Another comment. Okay, there should be a maximum age limit for presidents. Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. I think 80% of people would agree with that. But having a maximum age, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because on one side you want to make sure that we have people who are president whose brains aren't leaking out of their ears like the last 2 presidents we've had, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Clearly they both are too old. But then you've got people like Bernie Sanders, who is older than both of them, who is speaking in coherent sentences, someone who isn't shitting their pants every day like Donald Trump. So age is not determinant on your health, although it is obviously related. So capping it at a certain age, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that. Although most people would probably agree that like 85 is too old. 80 might be too old. But I don't think there's a mechanism to truly create a law that could cap the age. Although I think 85 would be I could support an 85 years old max.
Telling Americans that protesters are being paid to be at No Kings protests. So we came to a No Kings protest to find out. How much were you paid to be here today?
Absolutely zero.
Zippo, zero, nada.
I wasn't paid a penny. It was my pleasure.
I actually had to spend over $100 in this junk to be here.
A whopping $0.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Came out for free.
$0. I see a shirt that I think gives me the answer. How much were you paid to be here?
Zilch.
I'm a registered Republican, and I am not paid to be out here.
Not paid $0.
$0.
So are you telling me that Donald Trump might have lied about this?
Wait, you're telling me that Donald Trump lied? Wait, is that even possible? That just messed me up. Donald Trump lied that all these protesters are getting paid? No way.
Everything pretty much? Come on.
Everything.
Why are you here today?
To defend democracy.
Defend democracy and labor rights?
Labor rights, absolutely. Yep.
There we go. How about you?
Human rights. We, the people, have so much strength when we come together. It's amazing.
Saving democracy seems important.
It's important to me. It's important to a lot of people here. You can see them all around.
Is it true that there are no kings in this country?
There are no kings in America. No kings.
So we came out here and we talked to dozens of people, and we couldn't find a single person who was paid. So I don't know who Donald Trump is talking about, but we found a lot of people.
All right, Mallory McMorrow. You can do this, but it's not going to change the fact that you accept AIPAC money. It's not going to change the fact that Abdul al-Sayed is going to beat you in the Democratic primary. And that's just how it has to be. All right, we're not going to watch that. Oh, here's that guy. That guy from earlier in the stream After round, found out. Okay.
He go right. Fox, he go right. New York 1, he go right. Come on, come on, come on. NBC, he go right. Fox News, and your mother Scott. Fox News.
Is that Zoran dancing?
There you go. 1, 2, 3. So everybody say, who are we? Everybody say, who are we? Everybody say, who?
Irony is, of course, that Donald Trump is the son of an immigrant, the grandson of an immigrant, and married to an immigrant. In fact, 2 of his 3 wives were immigrants, proving yet again that immigrants will do the jobs that even Americans are not willing to do.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, let's see what Tim Walz has to say about No Kings.
Very clear you're being unfair, king, no matter what you.
Oh, okay.
The press agencies that cover the Pentagon sign a paper that they will not report anything that happens in the Pentagon unless they get permission from Pete Hegseth. Are you kidding me? So let me make it real personal. In 1988, I was working for ABC News, and I was given very, very heavyweight assignments. One of them was a Bradley fighting vehicle, which was a big Pentagon expenditure. Remember, the Pentagon spends almost $1 trillion a year discretionary. That means they spend it on whatever they want. Almost $1 trillion. Bradley fighting vehicle, they were spending enormous money on. They were triple billing. There were corrupt people inside the Pentagon triple billing. That means they were paying 3 times as much to build that vehicle as they should have. I put it on the air. I got the story. It was an award winner, one of the most proud stories I've ever done. Didn't get anybody's permission to do it. Pentagon hated it. Hated it. Went after me and everything like that. So
if you're watching the stream, I'm reacting to your political hot takes. So if you want to drop a comment, tell me your political hot take. And in the meantime, I'm just putting myself through hell by reacting to my own Twitter feed, which is making me magnitudes dumber the longer I'm on it. But here we are.
I know you have to do independent reporting, particularly when you have $1 trillion of discretionary spending. Hegseth doesn't want that. He wants everybody to, nah, you don't do anything unless I sign off on it. No, it's not freedom of press. This craziness? No.
Yeah. The bad thing about my Twitter feed is that it's half sports, 25% political, even though I follow like mostly explicitly political accounts. But yet I like sports posts. I like, so it's 50% sports, 25% political, and then 25% just brain rot and pop culture, movie clips and stuff like that. So my Twitter feed is really fighting against me because I follow all of these political accounts to try to keep up on the news. Yet it pushes out brain rot. And I think it's intentionally making me dumber. I think it's trying to make me dumber. Like I've gone through all the accounts that I follow, and I've unfollowed all the ones that are useless. Yeah, I still see their content. I think that's interesting. Hey, quick question. Is this a normal thing for the President of the United States to post? Let's look at it. Let's check it out. That was posted last night. Oh, got another comment. I'll respond to that in a sec. This was posted last night. Look at the timestamp. It's October 18, 2025. Early yesterday, when asked about the No Kings protests, he said, "I'm not a king. No, I'm not a king. I'm just an American who's working his ass off trying to save this country." But then he posts an AI video of him with a crown on. And didn't even see that. And the airplane says King Trump. And I understand that it's rage bait. Him and JD Vance post these AI videos of themselves, of Trump really, wearing a crown and then in some sort of garb, or in this case, he's in an airplane that says King Trump. They can say all they want that Trump's not a king. But when they post stuff like this, how can you not take it seriously? Like Trump constantly posts AI videos of him as a king. You know what I mean? Like at some point, we have to all realize that he wants to be a king. You know what I mean? Someone commented on the live stream, "Trump's not a Christian." That's not a hot take, my friend. Sorry. It might be a hot take for any conservative or any Christian watching this who might be a Trump supporter. But yeah, Trump not being a Christian. I mean, we've all seen the video where he couldn't even recite his favorite Bible verse. He couldn't. Reporters asked, one of my all-time favorite videos, reporters asked him, "What's your favorite verse in the Bible?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I like them all." And then the reporters were like, "Okay, then which book do you prefer? Or which do you prefer, the Old Testament or the New Testament?" I guess they're not books, but like the Old or the New Testament, which do you prefer? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I like them both," or whatever he said. That's not something a Christian would say. Come on. So from my perspective, that's not, I mean, I understand why you think that's a hot take, but come on. He cheated on his pregnant wife with porn star Stormy Daniels and used campaign funds as a hush money payment to shut her up before the 2016 election. Now, I'm not saying that Christians can't do bad things, because they do all the time, but he is not the Messiah that MAGA thinks he is. And not only that, but he's not a Christian, period. At all. But he is a king. He is a king, though. It's not even a good AI video. The oxygen mask wasn't even covering his nose or his mouth.
You! Free Palestine! You! Genocide!
We're not prepared.
They're committing genocide!
I'm not the government of Israel.
But you're being like this.
I'm not.
New Jersey politicians are facing growing criticism after taking recent trips to Israel, igniting what could be a political storm come election time.
It's been an eventful a few days here in Israel.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Are you against bombing kids or not?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's no surprise that politicians across the country are finally being called out for taking AIPAC money after years and years of that heinous practice being normalized. But it does feel really good to know that people are comfortable. People feel like it's acceptable now to call out these politicians in the public space, in public spaces like this, for taking AIPAC money, which should be illegal. It should be illegal to take money from a foreign lobby. But I digress.
No question! You took $25,000 from AIPAC to use it to a genocide!
How is an apartheid a democracy?
Oh, here we go.
To be a centrist, old guard Democrat to run again for president, and then you say the progressive left wing is the one that didn't. They didn't choose Joe Biden. They don't have the power in that party. Chuck Schumer is out there, you know, writing 8 strongly worded questions to Donald Trump.
Oh my gosh.
The progressives are the one going, people in this country want Medicare for all. Do something. They're the ones that have a principled agenda that they are going to put forth, that all the Democrats have run from in under the guise of we have to be moderate and we have to be centrist. But that doesn't appeal to changing the culture and dynamic of how this government should work by the people, for the people, of the people.
That's a great argument, and I don't disagree. What I'm saying to you is that
we're done here. They allow.
Exactly. Yep. He doesn't disagree. We need Medicare for all. Mic drop moment. Is she just in her underwear in that? What? I don't. I'll tell you what. I said this a few minutes ago. My Twitter feed is trying to make me dumber. Like I said a few minutes ago, I follow explicitly political accounts. I follow people who I know are smart, who are not in the political space. I follow some sports accounts. And that's it. Whoever created this algorithm, or whoever is personally attacking me with my algorithm, I need you to stop. Because I rely on Twitter, and Blue Sky. I use Blue Sky as well. I rely on these social media platforms to hear what politicians are saying. Because unfortunately, in 2025, Twitter is the main vessel for which most politicians communicate to the people. Right? They don't use Facebook. Some use Instagram. I mean, Twitter is really where it's at, unfortunately. So I'm on here to see in real time when breaking news drops, when politicians, when world leaders say something important. They put it on Twitter. But yeah, my algorithm is full of brain rot, soft porn, AI slop, and sometimes politics. Yep, that's how it be sometimes.
This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent.
Just realized that that's satire. That's funny.
We're not going to vote for anybody who takes AIPAC money.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
I will not vote for any politician that takes any money from the Israel lobby.
You take AIPAC money, don't you?
Never taken money from the Israel lobby, have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
Do you think AIPAC should register as a foreign lobby?
I've never...
If you have a chance, go back and watch Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. The Breaking Points YouTube channel, they interviewed Alyssa Slotkin, a Democrat senator from Michigan. One of the most uncomfortable interviews I've ever seen, because Alyssa Slotkin, who's a centrist Democrat, goes on this anti-elitist, anti-corporate YouTube channel between Crystal, who's on the left, Sagar, who is center right, but they both agree. I mean, they disagree on a lot of political stuff, but like they both agree that the establishment, the corruption, the the elitism that we see in this political system is unacceptable. And Alyssa Slotkin perfectly represents the corruption, the establishment, and they just tear her apart in a very uncomfortable fashion. So definitely go check that out.
Striking the Gaza Strip. They say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement. I spoke with one military official who said 2 separate attacks took place inside Israeli-controlled territory. One of them an RPG attack and the other a sniper attack conducted by Hamas. Most of the strikes this morning have taken place in the southern Gazan city of Rafah, but there is at least one report of a strike in the northern part of the...
Interesting that most of the attacks took place in Rafah. Not Israel proper, but Rafah, which, like he said, is in the southern part of Gaza. Interesting that that's where all the commotion is taking place, yet Israel's blaming Hamas for striking Israel. Definitely going to look into that one.
Enclave. This was a difficult moment for Israeli forces, having to make a decision about whether or not to start striking Gaza again. We also understand at this moment that there are warnings from the U.S. State Department against Hamas. Overnight,
Yeah, of course there are. This is bittersweet. So Candace Owens, who has some of the absolute worst political takes. And why do I say that? It's because her worldview stems from a conservative, biblical, literalist point of view. And to me, that's very damaging, very hurt. It's one thing to say that you're a Christian and you follow the practices of Jesus. That's one thing, which is empathy, showing love to your neighbor, loving, like I said, loving your neighbor like yourself, like trying to live like Jesus. Like that's one thing. But it's another thing to use your faith as a weapon to push political agendas. And that's what conservative Christianity does so well, is use their faith, weaponizes it to mobilize millions of Christians into thinking that their politics can only be represented by that version of Christianity. And that tells me a lot about who Candace Owens is. That sums up what she is. And I think that's bad. I think that she's a Christian nationalist. And I think that's all that needs to be said, is this country was founded on principles to have freedom of religion, and that the government should not adhere to a specific religion. And she disagrees with that. And I think that's one of the worst political takes that you can have. But all right, yeah, this is my very first live stream. I didn't have anything planned. I just wanted to test out this streaming platform. I wanted to do some live reacting. Only had 3 comments on the live, but I'm sure that'll grow as I do this more often. If anyone clicked on this, thanks for watching. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday for as long as my brain will allow me. I'm going to be getting on the live for a half hour, maybe an hour, just trying to, I don't know, build some community, try not to blow my brains out from the week of politics that we had just endured. So see you on the next one. Peace.